Hello, good evening and welcome to One Life Left. We're a radio show about video games. I'm Steve Curran.
I'm Simon Byron.
And I'm Anne Scantlebury.
And we are back all together for the first time in several weeks. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Bonjour.
You've been in France?
On France, yeah. I went to Paris Game Connection last week.
How was that?
It was okay. How did you get on without me?
Terribly. It was awful.
Did you?
We missed you. We cried.
Okay.
It was awful.
We got through it.
Okay, good.
We got through it.
I've not had a chance to listen to it yet.
Now we're all back together.
Is there some background music there?
I feel like there is. It's nice
What's
though,
going
isn't
on?
it? I don't know.
It's a bit of a chaotic changeover, was it? Because Richard Herring was in here earlier.
I saw.
Yeah, he
saw
barged past us on his way out.
And there was a little round of applause at the end of the previous show. Maybe, if we're good, today's show will finish with a round of applause too. Because we've got a very strong guest today, haven't we?
Do yeah, forget your Richard Herrings.
I don't mean physically strong.
Well, it could be. Let's test it, shall we? It's illustrator Jamie McKelvie. Hello, Jamie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right. Yeah.
Not cartoonist.
No, well, it's a contentious
Is it?
term. Yeah,
What's the
it
difference?
means a lot of things.
Okay.
It means to a lot of people. So,
What does it mean to you?
someone who writes and draws and does it all themselves, and I've not done that for a while.
Okay.
So you just do one thing, not
I just
all
do one.
things.
Just one thing, not
Stick
multiple
to what you're
things.
good at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you currently working on?
I have just finished Young Avengers for Marvel.
Yeah.
Literally finished it. In fact, as I was running here, we sent off the print.
Excellent.
The last issue to print.
We're glad to be of assistance. You're welcome. And of course, you're the only man who's drawn. Well, I say only man. You've drawn Kieron Gillen getting off with himself, haven't you?
I have.
And that's of course,
Very upsetting.
Of course, we all have. But you're the only one to get yours published, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
Well
yeah.
done, Jamie. Well done for that.
On the cover of a book called Phonogram, we didn't just do it for fun.
Well, that's how it all starts, isn't it? But this is how our show starts right now with Anne's news.
It's 7:03 on Monday the 9th of December. I'm Anne Scantlebury and this is the news. Leaked documents published in The Guardian show that UK and US spies monitored the game communications. NSA operatives were sent into games like World of Warcraft and Second Life after they were viewed as a target-rich communications network. Conversations on Xbox Live chat were also monitored. Microsoft has not commented and Blizzard said it was unaware of any surveillance taking place. One Life Left welcomes nosy government officials because hopefully at some point they'll tune into us and double our listening figures.
What does
Target-rich communications network.
What does that mean?
Nerds.
So many people talking.
Well, do you think there's a huge terrorism risk amongst nerds?
You're not allowed to use that word.
Nerds?
Well, no. You can't say the T word.
Oh, really?
Otherwise, yeah, they'll start listening to us and we...
Well, that would be
what we
great.
want.
That's what we want.
Okay.
So this is this section. I've never heard anything interesting on Xbox
Well,
Live.
exactly.
Yeah, it's all just children on there, isn't it?
I know a couple of writers who used to sort of plan their issues and comics over their headphones while playing things like Call of Duty and stuff.
Right.
That implies they're not really paying attention.
To which?
Either of those things. They're not giving
Probably
either
true,
of those
I don't
things
know.
their attention.
Yeah.
When you say you know a couple of writers,
Yes.
was Gillen one of them?
He wasn't, no. I'm not sure if I should name them.
Does he play Call of Duty? Is that his sort of game?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Anyway.
It seemed like a bit of a strange one. And also, I like the wording of your news story, Anne, where you say whether they were sent in, like, covertly. What? So
That's
they just
what
logged on
happens
from
with
home?
spies, though, isn't it?
But
They get sent in. They
What
have to
is-
shrink down.
What
and
did
then,
were they playing in disguise, so they had to put pyjamas on and not wash for a few days? Yeah.
yeah, they were really getting into
Or
the
get
territory.
caught
They
out.
were learning all the language and
Okay.
everything.
I read a thing that they had to employ extra spies to spy on the other spies to make sure they weren't spying on each other in the game, which is brilliant.
Evil tricksters 4chan have played a prank on Xbox One owners. The group released a fake Microsoft message with instructions on how to make the Xbox One backwards compatible with the Xbox 360. Only thing is that it doesn't make it backwards compatible, it makes it irreversibly broken. Luckily, Major Nelson was on hand to save the day and tell people not to do it again. Thank God for Major Nelson. We can't wait to find out who will play him in the film version of this episode.
We have a complex relationship with Major Nelson.
No, we don't.
No, exactly. It's not complex.
It's quite simple, isn't
Yep.
it? And we're sorry for that because it's Christmas.
You log on to Xbox Live, you'll be able to hear us chatting about what we think about him.
Can you get One Life Left on Xbox One?
Let's say you can.
Xbox One Life Left.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Xbox off.
We really should do a sponsorship deal with them for Xbox One Life Left.
We should do. Why has that only just occurred to the show?
That's ridiculous, isn't
Would
it?
that make us key influencers?
We'd be up against PlayStation 4chan, wouldn't we?
Wait, is that why they did this?
Yes, apparently so.
It's quite a conspiracy.
Yeah, it was a good bit of trolling though by PlayStation 4chan,
Was
wasn't
it? Because I think it's horrible. Like, someone's just spent so much money on an Xbox. They're super excited. They're like, actually, do you know what would be really nice? There's not that many games out yet. I'd really love it if I could just play my old one from one of the old consoles.
Where shall I look for advice? Oh, 4chan.
Yeah, exactly.
it looks really easy. I'll just put these little things in here. Donk. You can never use it again.
Donk.
That's
That's the official Xbox sound.
Yeah.
This is on top of the guy that bought the photograph
photo.
of
That happens
the
every time,
the photograph
doesn't it?
joke. Yeah, well, it's not happened with the PlayStation 4, is it? But I think what we're gathering here is an idea of the intellect of the Xbox One player.
And how can we monetize that? There's One Life Left. Hey, you know the Xbox off joke we've been doing for a while?
Yep. Just to explain to our listeners, the lights just flickered in the studio.
Just as Steve said,
Yeah.
Xbox off.
So I noticed that, and I've got a PS4 now, and you have as well, and
Yep.
we'll talk about that later in the show, but I noticed that the PlayStation's got voice control as well.
Apparently so.
Can people listen to One Life Left on a PlayStation?
Don't know.
Surely you should be the one to look into that, Steve.
PlayStation off.
Nintendo of America boss Reggie Fils-Aimé has killed the dreams of thousands of Nintendo fans. Speaking about fan petitions, he straight up said, "I have to tell you, it doesn't affect what we do." Operation Rainfall, a campaign to get 3 Japanese Wii titles launched elsewhere, was seen as a great success when the 3 titles were released elsewhere. But Reggie said, "I'm paid to make sure that we're driving the business forward, so we're aware of what's happening, but in the end, we've got to do what's best for the company. The thing we know is that 100,000 signatures does not mean 100,000 sales."
Ooh.
Sounds like a nice guy, doesn't he? A fun guy on your side.
Thanks for caring, guys.
Yeah,
Thanks for caring,
exactly.
guys. Just
But
to let you
everyone
know.
loves him. People
No.
love Reggie.
They
Reggie
do
was the
love
original
him,
Major
but-
Nelson.
Well, he was, but he's testing everyone's patience. And he didn't he go on the Video Game Awards, and they just announced a new playable character for Donkey Kong, didn't they? That was their big announcement. Really? Yeah, people are growing tired of him. Pacta has said that he's surprised he's still in the job.
I saw that.
Yeah, his gloves are off now.
People are getting, I mean, I guess this makes sense, but the whole world's getting a bit tense, isn't it? Punches are being thrown.
Well-
a couple of weeks ago, it was all, congratulations, Sony, on your launch. Love from Microsoft. I thought, cheers,
Wait,
Microsoft.
did Nintendo get involved in this at all?
Well, no, they
Are they
didn't.
just a little bit bitter about it?
They were just glowering in the corner, weren't they?
Well, yeah, exactly, when both consoles beat their lifetime sales.
In a day.
Yeah, well done.
Poor little Nintendo.
Yeah, so that's them engaging with their fans by saying don't bother trying to... don't ask for anything.
Well, he was like, look, we do take it into consideration, but let's be honest, I'm the man that's in charge here.
What if we do a petition that says every time, we will definitely buy it this time?
Because I think that would work.
Well, because then we could make him...
Maybe they should just do a Kickstarter.
I was going to say that's Kickstarter, isn't it? A petition with money.
Ouya has opened up its payments option to include Bitcoin. Users will be able to buy consoles or games in the Ouya marketplace using this weird, not really real currency. While users will be able to pay using Bitcoin, there is still no option to use PayPal, although Ouya is working on this. During the festive season, it is important to check that you do not confuse your Bitcoins with your chocolate coins.
They're working on it. It's really easy. It's just a bit of code
Has
you
everybody
can
got
embed in
PayPal's
your
number?
website.
Right, you know where to find. Format that no one owns introduces currency that no one understands. And they wonder why sales are less than stellar on the Ouya.
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 Didn't somebody say, somebody put some figures out again today, their game, they had 4 downloads of their free game on Ouya.
Is that true?
Yeah. If only we could pay by
free.
Bitcoin.
that must be the problem there.
Mustn't it?
Yeah. And you don't have an Ouya.
No, I don't have any
Do you have a
Bitcoins.
Bitcoin?
This story is not relevant to
No.
Simon. Me neither. Yourself?
I looked up what Bitcoins look like. Because I initially thought, well, there must be an actual thing,
Does it have the
right?
Queen's head on?
No, they look really boring. They look like made up money, which is weird.
They don't look like anything.
But I found out that so if you buy actual Bitcoins, you can open them up and they have the on a piece of paper they have written the key to the Bitcoin that you own.
This is not true.
Either that or the Wikipedia page is really playing with me, which seems.
Did you buy some Bitcoins again with some numbers on? Did you? It's like the idiot's Kinder Egg, isn't it?
Open it up and there'll
Exactly.
be a surprise inside. And finally, at last we can all play games using our butts and our tongues. An engineer at Valve has created 2 new controllers. One is a sort of optical mouse fitted into a retainer like kids who need better teeth have. That's the one that you use with your tongue. The other one is a repurposed set of weighing scales that can turn things left or right with your butt. Apparently they aren't very accurate, but we're sure that these were made in the name of good clean fun and we can't wait to use them.
Steve was doing something else. I'll be honest with you, I didn't understand that at all.
So controllers.
Jamie, what did you think of that? Help
This
us
one's
out
on
here.
you, Jamie.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can control things with your tongue
And
your bum
Yeah.
at the same time.
This has just got hot, hasn't it? Conversation between Jamie and Anne about tongue and bum playing.
Just what's wrong with using your hands?
exactly.
I look at it, completely throws a bucket of cold water over this fan fiction.
I like this. So he's made these things. They don't really work. They don't
Sorry,
work
what
very well.
format is this for?
So this is a guy at Valve. So
Yeah, it's a it's Valve engineer, isn't it?
Right,
He,
is it?
he's been.
they have a lot of free time on their hands, don't they?
Should make the next Half-Life episode instead.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's write
Jamie.
him a petition.
So I was reading about this. It's a guy who he made the butt controller from some scales, didn't he?
Yes.
He repurposed some cheap scales. What did he make the tongue controller from?
A brace, so like a retainer.
His own.
I
Also,
really hope not. But also, yeah, you're
hope
going to
not.
have. Oh no, I hope that it was his, but no one else has ever
Yeah.
used it. Like. Everyone is going to have their own individual tongue controller, unless you're super good friends, which of course we are here.
presumably that's right. We should write to Valve and they'll just send us one.
Well,
between
we're
us.
key influencers, aren't we?
Thanks, Anne.
One life left. Video game news with Anne Scantleberry.
You're listening to One Life Left on Resonance 104.4 FM, talking about video games and playing chiptune music. This is Solar Ride by Clam.
I like it.
Good?
Yeah, I think Dan Marshall will be able to run to this.
I saw
good,
that. We had
yes.
that letter. Are we going to read that out now, or is it going to go in the letters
Got
section?
a lot of lessons this week. He says, hi, super special guests and team. I've recently taken to listen to the podcast whilst out running. Your banter makes the time fly past. A couple of weeks ago, all the music you played was Brillo for running, all upbeat and motivational. For the last couple of weeks, it has not been that. It has been the opposite and distressingly hard to run to. For the sake of my increasingly wobbly tummy, please play more upbeat music.
Should we
Kindly do not picture my red, fat, sweaty face or picture me running whatsoever. Love, Dan.
Okay, well, we've tried to pump up.
That's for you, Dan.
I think
Pump
that we
up the
should
music
just,
this week.
give inspirational chants throughout the show for Dan.
Maybe.
If
Well,
he's
keep
running.
going. Keep
Come
going.
on, Dan. Good boy.
Maybe we could
Dan's
do
a dog,
it in
is
the,
he?
Yeah.
maybe we could do it in the voice of one of those personal trainers you get for your iPod and stuff. Go, personal best.
You could do.
Well done.
Well,
That's from chipmusic.org. All of our music generally is from there.
it's good.
Chiptune is a wide art form. Sometimes we're going to do the pumped up thing. Other times we'll take it a bit soulful.
Exactly.
But this episode for you, Dan Marshall, for you, we're all pump all the time.
Jamie, do you have a voice that Dan can run to?
Yeah.
Go on,
Look out for that dog poo.
There we go.
Some advice.
So how are you doing?
Me,
Yes.
I'm good because we finished. I finished drawing on Friday, so I've slept the entire weekend.
Nice.
Almost literally.
Right.
And I'm a bit disoriented, and I haven't left the house.
Okay, well, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, so it's good.
So what happens once you finish drawing then?
Then it goes to the colorist.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the letterer, and then it all gets sort of put together, and then it goes to the printer, and then it comes out like 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later. So how much time off have you got now?
I'm having a month off, which is amazing because I haven't had any time off for about 5 years. I
That
think.
seems remarkably forgetful.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's just been busy.
Right.
Yeah, comics is a busy thing. Yeah.
It's nice that the first spare moment you get, you rush to come on one like that.
Absolutely.
It's really
Yeah,
nice, isn't
yeah.
it?
Thanks, Jamie.
So, of course, you've got a history in gaming, haven't you, Jamie? You used to do a comic strip for official PlayStation Magazine,
I
UK,
did,
and that
yeah.
used to sell 450,000 when you were doing
Because
it.
of the comic.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, can you tell us a bit about that?
It was, I guess, like 2003 it started, maybe? Because I met Kieron in 2003, and that's when we started working
That's when
together.
everything starts.
It's pretty
10-year
much-
anniversary.
Yeah, this May it was. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, how did you celebrate?
Not swearing at him quite as much as I usually do.
That's
nice.
But yeah, so we did that, and we did it for 49 issues. We wanted to do it for 50, but then the budget changed or whatever, and we weren't doing it anymore. But yeah, we when we started it, we said, well, we've probably got about a year's worth of jokes, and we proved ourselves right.
Was it difficult to get it into the official PlayStation Magazine? I mean, it was going all sort of lifestyle-y then, I guess, anyway, and broader remit than just video games, but...
That was more Kieran sort of
Okay.
than me. But it was very much a comic based around video games and his observations on video games.
So, why did it finish? Just-
I think it was just like they revamped the magazine and they just decided they weren't going to have it anymore.
You give us their names. You've also done a game, haven't you, which I own,
Oh yeah,
Kudos 2.
Kudos 2, yeah.
which it's a championship manager, but for fashionistas, I understand.
I suppose,
sort
yeah,
of.
lifestyle
Life,
sim.
yeah. How did you get involved in that?
He asked me,
Right?
do you want to draw? I think because of the PlayStation magazine thing.
Okay.
Do you do everything you're asked?
No,
Interesting.
he
At the time,
doesn't.
What do you mean, Anne?
Well,
oh,
maybe we'll come on to this in a bit.
Really?
Yeah,
Do you have
really.
plans?
It's a-
You're planning ahead. This is adorable.
Isn't it?
7 years.
is this why you invited me on the show?
8 years.
So tell us about Kudos 2.
Yeah, it was good. It was an interesting one because obviously I think he just did all the graphics himself for the first one, and he wanted to look a bit different this time, I guess. So it was basically drawing a bunch of paper dolls with different outfits and different faces and all those things and different expressions, etc., depending on how it went in the game. So that was quite interesting because at the time I wasn't working on a computer. I was drawing like on paper.
Uh-huh.
So trying to turn that into something that could work in that was a bit of a challenge.
So how come you've not done a game since? Haven't been asked.
Busy drawing comics,
Okay.
basically, yeah.
But you got a month off.
I have got a month off.
You could do the One Life Left game.
I'm it's not a proper month off because I'm preparing for the next thing. So it's like
That's
putting reference
basically
together.
like I'm washing my hair. isn't it?
Pretty much.
So is it? It's obviously an area that you're interested in. So where do games sit in the comics world? They look down upon, or
No, I think everybody plays them.
Okay.
Various different. I haven't had much time to play them lately because I'm a bit busy. But yeah, everybody I think pretty much plays video games, and so is into it. And then, of course, there've been like a lot of crossover. There's been comics of games and games of comics, etc., etc. And there's a lot of writers actually who are doing video games as well. Like Anthony Johnston did the Dead Space games.
Okay.
And,
He was on our GDC podcast.
Yeah,
yeah, he was. Yeah,
He was.
Yeah, so
good. Good knowledge, Steve.
Just hyperlink that, click,
Yeah.
and you can go back to the GDC podcast, listen to what he has to say.
very good.
I wasn't there, so I will
That's
certainly check that out.
What have you been playing then, Jamie? What's your last favourite game? You mentioned Half-Life 3 earlier. In many ways, you're the most contemporary video gamer of us. so let us know what's cool in video games. You've got about 40 minutes.
Okay, right. I'm playing Bioshock Infinite again.
Okay, why are you playing it again?
Because I really enjoy it.
Interesting.
I know that's controversial.
I mean,
But
people.
it's an odd one because it wasn't controversial when it came out because apparently everybody loved it. But
Yeah.
since it came out, people are like, well, actually, it wasn't quite as good. So it now is controversial because you've stuck to your opinion.
I'm the backlash.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people say the story is disconnected from the gameplay, and it is, but I enjoy both, so I'm quite happy.
It's a pretty game, isn't it?
It's a very pretty
hard
game.
to argue with
This is I just bought a new PC like 2 months ago, and being able to run it at like the full spec was pretty amazing.
So you're a PC gamer.
I am, yeah. Well, no, actually, not just that. I've also got an Xbox and a PlayStation 3, but mostly the PC.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Have you been playing many of the Telltale games?
No. Because I've been so busy, I've barely had a chance to play anything new. So,
Be interested to know what you think about The Wolf Among Us. Because,
I've heard about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because that's a comic book series I'd not read.
Yeah.
So my only exposure to it was through
the Fables one. Yeah.
So my only exposure to it was through the game, and I'm certainly keen to check it out.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying good things about the Walking Dead ones, which I haven't had a chance to play either.
They are good, yeah. Did you talk about the Charlie Brooker thing last week?
We did not. No.
Did you not? Gary Whitta, who wrote Book of Eli and After Earth, he was deputy editor on The One when I joined back all those years ago. So I worked with him on magazines, and now he lives in America. He's a screenwriter. He also wrote the Walking. He wrote an episode of the Walking Dead game, the Walking Dead game. Technical issues that I had with it aside, was. Well, I'm trying to bully Telltale over Twitter. They paid no attention to me, but so Gary Whitta popped up on the Charlie Brooker thing. He's got a confused accent since he moved to America. Yeah, he's the son of a London taxi driver. Right, you wouldn't guess that from hearing what he sounds like now. Now he's living in Hollywood. But yeah, that's gone sort of from comic book to TV to game, and now with Game of Thrones and the Borderlands episode stuff that Telltale are doing all this. They're in danger of doing too much for me, I think, because I'm going to buy Walking Dead episode 2. But
You're still buying it even
I will
after
do,
what happened.
Yeah, I'm a very forgiving man. That's what I am.
I like the idea of you having a Twitter conversation which begins with a polite question, can you fix my game? Sort of escalates into all caps and then just ebbs away into I forgive you.
Gonna buy your sequel.
So Jamie, we've talked about the comics that have become games and games that have become comics. Are there any comics that should be games that you could well, the thing is, One Life Left have been working on a game for several seasons now, and we're wondering maybe we need to acquire some IP.
Right. Young Avengers?
Yeah, I mean,
very exciting.
Yeah, should we
Interesting.
sort that
Are you
up?
offering that to us? Well, that is very flattering.
Thanks very much.
Jamie.
We'll take it.
Thank you. We're in.
I don't think it's quite within my remit to be able to do that.
But do you write stuff thinking that how it could work, or visualising it in?
Not really. No. I think we're both quite stubborn in the way that when we do comics, me and Kieron, we do them to be comics, especially like for the first phonograms, very deliberately, like you couldn't really do anything other than.
How would you game Kieron getting off with himself?
Would have to be
You could use Valve's tongue.
No, you
controller.
could, or you could do it like the Elite,
or the butt one,
or the Elite docking game, where you have to rotate the faces in time to.
Did you see someone did like a Sims? I think it was Sims, where they made everyone look like Kieron.
No, I didn't.
Just a room full of Kieron.
Was it Kieron?
Excellent. Good. Right, you're going to stick around, Jamie, aren't you? Mm-hmm. We'll chat to you later. But what are we doing next, Steve?
Local news.
Hello, I'm Sega Badawi and welcome to One Life Left Local News. Famous chef Cooking Mama has recently been in the witness stand. Her employees, the Great Guiana sisters, have been accused of using their company credit card for their own use. It is believed that the sisters have used the card to purchase haute couture clothing from the Gracie Grace fashion store. Cooking Mama's ex-husband, the advertiser, art collector and professional ball bag Crazy Red, wrote a letter to the press alleging that Cooking Mama regularly took drugs and had allowed the sisters to spend the money willy-nilly. Mama has admitted that she took eye drops that set her irises on fire whenever a cooking student made a mistake. However, her lawyer Phoenix Wright objected and said she only took these on very rare occasions and had a prescription. The case continues and we'll keep you up to date with any developments. Thanks, and back to your usual programming.
Go on, Dan Marshall.
Come on,
Run.
Dan.
Come on, Dan.
Run like the wind.
Stop, Dan. It's really boring running.
No, come
Think
on,
about
Dan.
the pain.
Dan,
Really hurts.
don't do that.
Really
You can
hurts.
do it. You can do it.
Sit down.
You're listening to One Life Left on Resonance 104.4 FM. We're a radio show about video games. And this is another piece of chiptune music. What is this called? Let's find out on my notes. It is called Galactic Smash, and it's by One Life Left favourite, Dread.
Good.
We need to work
excitable.
on our sort of music criticism, don't we?
Well, it's all good, isn't it?
It's all good.
That's a problem,
hits
isn't
after
it?
hit
It's
after
a
hit.
problem.
Okay. So we're going to do letters now. Do you guys have anything to say before that? Just an anecdote. Shove it in there. Break up the show a bit.
How are you, son?
I'm getting acupuncture
It's not an
tomorrow.
anecdote.
Really?
That's a question.
Getting acupuncture tomorrow.
Is it your first time?
This is leading
Yeah.
somewhere.
That's good.
No, so it's been recommended to me, yeah. I've got back pain at the moment, or sciatica.
It helps.
Does it?
Yeah.
I'm a bit nervous about it.
It's fine.
Is it?
It's fine. You barely feel it, honestly.
But I tell you what, it sounds...
No, don't.
No. I was going to get my phone out. It sounds dodgy, because I made an appointment, and then I got a text saying that my appointment is confirmed. And it does sound like I've signed up for something else that I'm not... I got a text from this number. They said, this is... Hi, Simon. Just to confirm your appointment with Annabelle Lovejoy tomorrow. So
Lovejoy's a name.
it is a name, but it sounds like a sexy name, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound like a sexy name? So I'm a bit concerned about that, yeah. And I'm getting that done at midday tomorrow, so...
Well, let us know how it goes.
I will do, yeah.
Time for letters.
Email, messages, and forward BCC. One Life Letters.
Who wants to start?
I'll go first. Hey guys, I found a peculiar variant on a game which I've been playing. Steve in the past has mentioned that he likes to roleplay his character in a video game as Lindsay Lohan or something.
Yeah.
Should also point out we've got Steve's dad in the studio. Did you know this about Steve? Do you know he likes to
No,
roleplay? Edgar continues. Well, I found a DayZ server, which is a roleplay only server where you need to just cause to shoot people, and there's much more character interaction. Is this something that sounds fun or the nerdiest thing you've ever heard? I'm in there as a regular reporter, so if I get any amazing news, I'll feed back to you guys. Edgar, Kiss. That
I
sounds
think
interesting.
That does sound fun. And we were obsessed with playing DayZ.
We did, and then we never did it.
Have you not even... Because you've got a PC.
I did it
that'll do
once, yeah. I did it once and was so intimidated by it. I'm waiting for the standalone version.
Okay.
And then I'll be in there role-playing like... Well, I will role-play however you wish me to, Steve.
Do you know,
as usual.
This is relevant. We've been... Simon and I had a Ghost Recon squad a few years ago.
We did, didn't we?
It's excellent. And I received an email the other day, which is basically, I want to put the squad back together.
Right.
You know, some people are interested in playing them, but Ghost Recon doesn't exist in any decent form anymore. So if any listeners have ideas of what a group of men could do
on the
with their
internet.
Christmas,
Oh, goodness.
we want to play a game that's cooperative, sort of probably a bit shooty, but mostly so we're all on the same side.
Yeah.
If anyone has any ideas, please let us know.
Dear Dear Anne, hello to you, Steve, Simon, and the SSGs. My fiancée was really excited this week when I mentioned your love of going around games, as it's her favourite genre too, and she was happy to have a name for it. Our most recent going around game has been Starbound. I run off to find ore and weapons, and she goes around the surface, looking at the cool backgrounds, buildings, pretty things, and planning crops. Have you had the chance to go around in Starbound? And if so, what is your favourite planet type? And what things have you built? Regards, Tim.
I don't know what Starbound is.
Neither do I.
Not me either.
It does say planet, though.
But a lot of cool kids on Twitter are talking about it, aren't they? So
Okay, so Starbound is an upcoming indie game being produced by the UK-based independent game studio Chucklefish Limited.
nice name.
Aw.
It takes place in a two-dimensional, procedurally generated universe which the player will explore in order to obtain new weapons, armour and miscellaneous items. I could go on, but you could just Google it and read it from Wikipedia.
I like all planets.
Sounds good. All planets.
Yeah.
Really?
Apart from the big ones that will kill you.
That's most of them.
I like this planet.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Jamie.
Dear team and SSG, I remember when I was 13, I was given the original GTA on PC for Christmas. Talk about dodgy parenting. I was so excited I literally ignored the entirety of my family for a week and played it non-stop. Nowadays,
Happy Christmas.
Nowadays, I'm not as excited for video games at Christmas because I'm old and so I can buy whatever I like, whenever I like. However, looking back at your own childhoods, was there a best video game you ever got at Christmas, and did it leave your parents eating Christmas dinner alone as well? That's from Lawrence.
I was... my birthday's in November and Christmas is in December, as we know. My mum gave me some money for my birthday. I think she gave me a cheque, I forget how much for. And then on Christmas morning, she said, Simon, you can give me the cheque back and take what's in there, or I can give you a cheque. Or you can have another cheque and not take what's in there. So I took what was in there. It's Commodore 64, which I was over the moon with, and the Rambo video game, which was phenomenal. At the time, and I played that all Christmas. Happy Christmas! Exploding arrow in your face. Steve, maybe we should ask Steve's dad how he remembers Steve at Christmas. Do you want to come on now? No? So there's actually Steve's dad.
So it's One Life Left Parents evening. I remember getting a game called Ultra Intelligent Machine, UIM.
Right. Who was that from? Was that from your dad?
I don't remember. It might have been a gift to myself. Alone Christmas. No, it was like an elite that happened underwater. I was super excited by it. Loved it. I used to get up early to play it before school, and never managed to get off the first planet or whatever it was underwater. No one talks about UIM anymore.
Right.
It's because it's on the Archimedes. No one had an Archimedes.
I don't even know what that is.
No.
And I also remember getting Tomb Raider for Christmas.
Yes.
And that was a phenomenal game. Toby Gard wanted a Ferrari for every one of his toes. Did he get it?
Don't know. Where is he now? Jamie.
A Landstalker for the Mega Drive.
Okay.
A game I don't think anybody else ever played,
Never
but it was
heard of
really interesting because it was the first one that it had a save chip built into the cartridge, so you could save your game, which was like, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
And it was like a big Japanese role-playing game, and it was amazing, and I just played it constantly. All Christmas. Yeah.
Toby Gard currently makes a webcomic called Otherworld.
He was a consultant on the new Tomb Raider, wasn't he?
Was he?
I
Yeah,
noticed
that
in the credits.
That sounds right.
Ah.
Okay, from Steve Owen. Hello.
one cares what you did at
the
Christmas,
team.
No, my Christmases are irrelevant.
Hello, the team and SSG Jamie. Last week I was dismayed to hear that Anne hates history. History is brilliant. It's the one bit of stuff you get taught at school that doesn't actually change, although admittedly it does get bigger. So I've got some suggestions to try and get Anne liking history. Suggestion 1, get Jamie to draw it for her. Not all of it, obviously, that would be silly. Most of it is probably sufficient. 2, get into it gradually. For instance, I've attached the history of cornetos. From this humble beginning, it should be possible to be absorbed by any subject. Good luck. Looking forward to seeing you all on Saturday, getting a teeny bit tipsy, singing and sitting on Uncle Keith's knee. Cheers, Steve Owen. There you go, Anne. There's your Wikipedia history of cornetos. We will test you on that next week.
Thank you very much for your letters. We appreciate receiving them. Email
team@onelifeleft.com.
Yes, and next week's topics will include behaviour at the Christmas party, I'd imagine.
I'm Tiger Woods. And if you're running while you're listening to this, well done. Keep going. You're doing well.
Or just stop and get a cornetto.
Don't do that. You're listening to One Life Left, for a radio show about video games. We've done letters. We've done news.
Done.
Tick.
Yeah.
We've done sort of interview with our guest.
Yeah.
SSG today, Jamie McKelvie.
Yeah.
What's left to go?
Let's talk about a PlayStation 4.
We should. I've got one.
So have I.
Anne?
I don't have one.
Jamie?
No.
Okay. Why don't you have one, Jamie?
Because I haven't had a chance to look at if it's any good or not. Okay. Basically. I don't know what the games are at the moment or anything.
Well, that's
Well, you're
okay,
about to
Jamie,
find out.
because right now you can ask questions to us and we'll endeavour to answer them. So
Is it
just
any
go.
good?
Ask us anything.
Is it any
anything.
good? Are they good games?
Okay, which one do you want to field?
I'm going to field the one that's got the answer no.
Oh dear.
So, I unboxed it.
Okay.
By which I mean I took it out of the
Yeah,
box.
it's a nice
plugged
box,
in.
isn't
Record
it?
Did you record yourself unboxing it?
I didn't because it wasn't on, so I couldn't record it. Oh, you mean with another item?
Yeah.
No.
Did you get the camera as well?
Did get the camera
Okay,
as well,
cool.
yes. So I installed it, very, very impressed by the sort of slickness of the package.
No hanging around.
No, just worked.
Straight in there.
Plugged it in,
Yeah.
worked. Set up, loved the integration of my PSN account straight away. Had the camera, the way the camera recognises you, that's a bit clever,
It's
isn't
nice,
it?
yeah, I liked
Pointless, because
Yeah.
you can either sort of position your head and have it go, Steve Curran, well done, welcome back, or you can just hit X.
Yep.
Hit X. Loved the new controller, hated it for the first 5 seconds, like, why have you done this? I hate change. Then I was like, it's good.
Do you understand the touchpad yet?
I haven't been able to get it to work for anything.
Okay.
Anyway.
Is there a touchpad on it?
There is a touchpad, yeah. There's above where the start and select buttons used to be. There is just a sort of bit of plastic that you can
What if
swipe.
that's just a joke?
It's not. I've got one.
No, but what if they're like, yeah, that's a touchpad. It's not
I
really.
don't know. It does work. I mean, I've got mine working, but I
Really?
just don't know why you'd use it.
So, yes,
what
set it
have
up,
you played?
Set it up perfectly, and then I immediately went to PSN
Yeah.
because the sort of games that I'm mostly interested in are at that tenner price range, and I downloaded the 2 games that are there currently for free with PSN Plus, which are Resogun and Contrast.
Yep.
Over to you.
Well, I played Contrast, and I thought it was lovely looking. It's just a little rough around the edges.
It really is.
And it's a real shame. It's because it's sort of new school visuals with very much old school design. It's got one great conceit, but
What do you mean by new school visuals?
well, in fact, it's high definition and.
Because to me, it feels like a PS3 game.
Well, that's the problem I found with all of the games,
or
although
even a
admittedly-
latter-day PS2 game.
Yeah.
I mean, it does not. I love the aesthetic. I love the style they've chosen. The setting is great. I think they've, it's really, really strong vision for a game. But like you say, it's rough around the edges,
Yeah.
and I don't see beyond the fact that we're encouraging everyone to get into a PS4 why this is a PS4 game.
Yeah, I agree. It's a shame that they had to replace Drive Club with that.
And I've been stuck in the scenery 4 times,
Yeah,
I think, and glitched through a puzzle to the end, and it's really frustrating. And things like, I don't know, this is a really, really simple sort of element to the game, but I picked up a crate and then left it. I was trying to drop it
How
off a
next
thing.
gen?
Yeah, well,
It's got
quite.
crates
For a
in it,
start,
yeah.
it's all crates. I picked it up and I dropped it, and it's stuck with maybe 10% of the edge on the thing. It's not falling off the thing. I'm like, really? Are we still doing that sort of physics
Yeah.
in games? And it seems strange. Someone else, I was talking to someone else about it, and they said, oh, not another Shadow game. Apparently, Indiecade this year was full of
Right.
games that use that conceit
Okay.
of projecting your shadow onto
so this was the first
wall. Perhaps, yeah.
Right. I've not played Resogun yet, but I've downloaded it.
Okay.
I understand it's brilliant.
It is Defender done by Housemarque,
Yeah.
and we love
We
Housemarque.
do love them.
Housemarque
I
are
saw them
excellent.
last week, and they had a tiny booth at Game Connection, and they were drinking this alcohol that you had to. It was so dangerous, you had to water it down before you drank it. And they were going, "Yep, we got the highest rated next gen game,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "This is brilliant, you guys."
Housemarque are Finnish, if that helps contextualise that.
But the other games I played, Need for Speed, Stabby Killzone, and Battlefield 4. And the thing that struck me whilst playing all of these is I've been looking at them and thinking, if you told me this was a PlayStation 3 game, I would quite happily go, oh yeah, so the leap from 2 to 3 was where you moved into HD, and now it's very difficult to tell. Apart from the one thing that all these games have in common, I think, is that, and actually, to sum up, what the extra grunt in a PlayStation 4 does is it puts litter everywhere. Like, it does. So Need for Speed has just got swirly leaves all over the place, and like so many. And Battlefield has just got seagulls, like loads of, like, well, we've got all this. It looks like a place. I'll just cut and paste some seagulls in it. Yeah, it's just like that for me is the most obvious difference between that they've got all this incidental swirling around stuff. So
Is that worth the money?
I don't think it's. If you haven't rushed out and bought it yet, there's no point in rushing out and buying it. There's some great stuff coming down the line, but at the moment, the thing that I've spent the most time on, have a guess, is Playroom with Dexter, my son, and the integration of the Android application and the camera is phenomenal. It's the closest thing to magic I've seen in gaming. So where you can open up an application on your tablet or your phone, and you can draw something, and then you throw it into the game, and it appears, and then you can sort of bump it around with physics, and you've got these little robots that are sort of playing with it as well. And it's just, Dexter will spend happily 2 hours playing that, and that side of things is going to get really good. I'm so impressed with the camera compared to Kinect. I've not played the new Xbox One, but even just the way that it sort of moves, without pivoting, doesn't it? Have you played Playroom much?
I stuck it on. The zooming was what I think is a really, really simple trick, but really, my girlfriend walked in while I was playing it and was like, "Wow, what's going on here? Wow!" And I was like, well, "It's just zooming, it's just zoom." But she thought that looked phenomenal, and I thought that Playroom is just so well finished. Yeah. It feels, the opposite of Contrast, which does not feel finished. It feels like it's been rushed out for launch, and that is probably the case. Whereas Playroom feels like they've had time and they've been working on it, and this is robust and it's nice. That Android thing sounds excellent.
It's really good. Yeah.
Jamie, any more questions?
Are there any good games coming that you know of? Because I'm not really interested in shooting games or racing games, which is the majority.
Very excited about Watch Dogs. I think that looks interesting. We'll see if that's going to be Xbox One as well. They've announced a Tomb Raider HD remake, and Tomb Raider.
I really enjoyed that game. Yeah. So when it's finished, I felt that felt finished, which is quite rare for a big game.
It was phenomenal.
I'm really excited about N++.
Okay.
You remember N, the ninja game? Have you ever played that? Single screen platformer. It's really, really super stylish, and this is their sort of final version, and it looks beautiful, and it will play, I think, brilliantly. I like those sort of super compact, fast restart games. I think this is going to be unmissable.
The other thing that struck me though was how generous Sony have been. Like, did you download Flower and Sound Shapes and all this stuff that because you paid for it, because you bought it on PlayStation 3, you can now have it on PlayStation 4?
Is that why that worked? I noticed that it was there to download.
Can you play PlayStation 3 discs?
No.
You can, but you have to enter a code.
Science Officer Update. After over 3 years floating in deep space, this human specimen was eventually recovered from a damaged escape capsule. The human male has since returned to active duty. Today he is returning to zero gravity for the first time.
Science Officer's audio log. Remember to breathe. That's the last thing the Marine captain told me before he shoved me out the airlock. Actually, no, that wasn't the last thing. He also said, "You did this for 3 years straight, geek. This should be a walk in the park." A real confidence booster. Talking of boosters, apparently these older zero-G suits are still controlled with hip thrusts. So let's try a little of the old... Yeah, that works. I'm moving. And there it is. Science Officer to Captain, I have visual on the alien object attached to the hull. Approaching now. Science Officer out. Okay, that is not space debris. That is an enormous magnetic space mine. And there is no way on this Earth that I am going to have anything to do with... Okay, that's not good. Science Officer to Captain. Captain, can you... Great. So the mine jams local comms as well. I gotta deactivate this. Pry off one of these panels with my science secateurs. Come on. I remember audio logs like this from the academy. They used to play them back so they knew which was the right wire to cut next time. Okay, what do we have? Green and light green. Green and light green? These are terrible wire choices. Science officer to Captain in the Blind, if you recover this recording, I am cutting the not light green wire. And please tell Corporal Stenserfield that I... Oh. Well, blow me down. It worked. Breathe. Breathe. I'm breathing. Science officer, not out.
Reviews? Anyone?
Ghosty.
Anyone? Okay, I've been playing Resogun.
Oh yeah, have you?
Resogun.
That's a surprise.
So Resogun is by Housemarque, Finnish, if that helps contextualise this.
Drink.
And it is Defender. If their previous sort of equivalent of this on PS3, which was
Stardust,
is Asteroids,
yeah.
then this is Defender. You move left and right, you shoot an unbelievable amount of aliens, and you try and save the humans that the aliens are trying to pick up. It does lots of nice PS3 tricks. For example, it uses the speaker in the joypad.
Oh yeah,
so that surprised me.
That's
when I
new,
played
Jamie.
it
There's
the
a
first
speaker
time.
in the joypad.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it said I was just playing it. It said keeper detected, and I was like, who did that? What's going on? Don't understand. Actually, the keeper detected thing I found incredibly frustrating because, like most games these days, it doesn't have instructions, and I had no idea what was going on. Now it's meant to be just Defender, so you just shoot stuff.
Right.
But there's some quite subtle rules. One of them is when it says keeper detected, you've got to destroy the aliens with a green glow around them before time runs out. If you don't manage to do that, then it kills a human. So what was happening to me was it was going keeper detected, and then it was going human lost, and I had no idea what was going on. It was really, really frustrating. Once I had looked up the instruction manual on the internet and read about that, suddenly the game became really, really loads of fun. Really, really enjoy it. It's not super sophisticated. It is incredibly intense. Your point about litter carries over onto this. There are just particles everywhere. They've clearly been able to just set particles to infinite and throw loads and loads of stuff. So to that extent, it feels kind of like a Minter game. They've just put everything they can into it. But I really, really, really enjoy it. 7 out of 10.
I've been playing The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Two Worlds.
On your
Between
PS4?
Worlds. No, on my 3DS.
Bored of that already.
3DS XL.
How's that going?
It's good. I mean, it's a Zelda game, so you know exactly what to expect. The key ability with this is that you can merge into 2D, which presents some interesting puzzles of perspective and stuff like that, and that's fun.
I saw that. It's another shadow game, isn't it? You project yourself onto a wall and move around.
and it's when they announced it was billed as a remake of A Link to the Past.
Okay.
Am I thinking of that? Link to the Past?
That's the SNES
one, yeah. Which I tried to play a few times, but then when you flick to the other world, Dark World, it just became too big for me, and I didn't know where to go. And similar story in this, and the way that this game is structured is that so you don't discover a new weapon and then do a dungeon that is based almost exclusively around the property of that weapon. Is that you meet a guy who can rent you all the weapons at once, and so in theory you're supposed to be able to pick which dungeon you're going to do in order. And when I'm suddenly presented with this massive, like, you go, oh, this world's quite manageable, and you're now going to flip one, it's like massive. So I found myself I'm going on to GameFAQs not to work out how to do stuff, but just to work out where to go next, so that I'm not, I only get to play half an hour each way on the train each day. But yeah, the bits I'm just, so I'm reading on GameFAQs what bit to do next, and then I'm not looking at it and doing that again, and I'm really enjoying it, but it's just a bit too non-linear for my liking. Looks beautiful, plays well, it's a Zelda game. 7 out of 10.
Good one. I've been playing Rain.
Have you?
I have. I think it's lovely. It's just so beautiful.
So tell us about Rain.
So Rain, you are a small boy who sees a small girl, and she is being chased by something, and then they run into another world, and then they're invisible. But they can be seen if they're in the rain. It's raining. It's called Rain. So when they're walking through rain, you can see them. So he's still trying to catch up with her, and she's being chased by these monsters called the Unknown. And there's a big unknown, and then there's other little ones. And you're obviously trying to escape from them. And if you hide under a shelter, you can't be seen by them. So they won't get you. It's brilliant. But if you walk through a muddy puddle, they can see your feet. Yeah. But yeah, it's really, really lovely. Oh my goodness, I stayed up till 3 a.m. last night playing it because it was so lovely. the narrative is literally you're just chasing this girl, but the relationship between the little boy and the little girl is so adorable. They never speak, they just look. Oh man. And then a bit later on they sort of end up teaming up, and that's really nice where they're sort of helping each other out through different things, to jump on things and go around. There is a lot of going around, which I enjoy a lot. Makes me sad that it's raining outside. But yeah, it's really, really lovely, and I'm really looking forward to completing it and seeing what happens.
What would you prefer to rain? Bearing in mind the game has to operate in a way. Snow.
Yeah, snow is like lovely.
Christmas version.
It's Christmassy.
But then it would stick to them, so it'd be...
Yeah, think about it.
What about sleet?
Maybe
Hail. Bouncing off them.
Dangerous.
just lots of leaves. Maybe it could be a PS4 thing. Just have loads of leaves going around. You can see them in it. Yeah, but I'm really enjoying it. I think it's lovely. Oh, the only thing that I think is awful, and I really it's terrible. The text that comes up on the screen, you can't read it.
What?
So annoying.
Is it in English?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just in a really bad font that goes a bit weird sometimes. And sometimes you can absolutely see it, and sometimes you just can't, which is so annoying because that's where the narrative comes out.
Were you drinking?
Was I drinking?
You were up until 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't think I was, Steve. Magic. So yeah, amazing. 7 out of 10.
Jamie.
Actually been playing, is it Burial at Sea? The DLC for Bioshock?
Oh.
That takes them into Rapture.
Yeah, what's it called?
I think it's called Burial at Sea.
Burial at Sea, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of short. I mean, it's an episode or something, so I was supposed to be, but I really enjoyed it. It's because for the first bit of it, you get to see Rapture at its height before everything starts to go terrible. So it's just nice to just sort of wander around and admire it. And the story gets interesting towards the end, so I want to play the next one, but it's not that special. But I enjoyed it, so 7 out of 10 as well.
Can't get enough of Bioshock Infinite, can you?
I know.
Come on, Ken, make some more stuff.
That's all I want to play.
Yeah.
Just Bioshock.
Sweet Ken Levine.
Yeah.
Christmas
Talk about that in a
party.
sec.
Okay, thanks guys. That's the reviews. We'll have one more piece of music. One Life Left on Resonance 104.4 FM. This is Golden Lonely, VCMG. Previously, you heard Unreal Superhero 3 by Rez. This is a little bit more chilled for Dan.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's coming to the end of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
Near his destination.
Stretch your legs, Dan.
Jamie got me thinking about something.
Yeah, what?
So, Bioshock and Bioshock 2. No, it's not called Bioshock.
No, and
Infinite.
Bioshock Infinite.
They're in the
one.
same universe, aren't they?
They are.
That's quite exciting the way Burial at Sea brings that together.
Yeah.
I like that.
Me too. I really like that.
When games are in the same universe, and you sort of because I know all of the Elder Scrolls games take place in the same world, and someone's built up a map of which bits they've covered and which bits they haven't. And what other games? Final Fantasy and Disney. They're in the same universe because of that what's that horrifying game called?
Disney Infinity.
Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, Kingdom,
Thanks.
yeah, sorry.
I'm assuming Marvel characters will start showing up in that soon as
That's
well
true.
because Disney now owns Marvel.
And Star Wars characters as well. Maybe they're already there. I don't
Indiana
know.
Jones as well.
I don't know. Are there any other games that share a universe? Like, is Pac-Man in someone's universe?
I didn't know that the Ghost did different things.
I can't believe so many people didn't know that the Ghost
Well,
did
it's
do
very
different
different when it
things.
that
came out. I was
stuff.
just like, I have to run away from the Ghosts.
Yeah.
I didn't think that they did different things.
Actually, if you read Game On from Pong to Oblivion, the 50 greatest
That's
video
how
games
you
of all
read that
time,
stuff.
it's in that.
I've read your book.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's quite interesting though, isn't it?
You're listening to One Life Left, Resonance 104.4 FM. If you've got answers to those questions or any other questions that have come up during the course of the show, please email
team@onelifeleft.com.
Jamie, did you also spot that when they were talking about The Secret of Monkey Island, they were actually talking about The Secret of Monkey Island 2 on Charlie Brooker's TV show? Because they were talking about the ghost of LeChuck, who, of course, he doesn't die until...
Unbelievable.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Spoilers.
Why weren't we... Talking to people involved in this, we've got a letter from Cara Ellison, who writes... apologies if you wrote the... Secret Monkey Island bit, Cara, instantly. Not for any offence I may have caused you, but the fact you don't know about the video game. She writes, I'm only joking, by the way. How many party hats will be at the Christmas party? And when the panto is on, can I boo and cheer? And oh no, you didn't until I get chucked out, she asks. Anne, you're in charge of the panto.
Yeah.
What's going on with it?
It's going to happen.
Yeah?
Nobody who's in it knows yet.
Okay.
Is it written?
Yes. Pretty much.
So, the order of the day for the party.
Yeah, what are we
Doors,
doing?
6:30.
Brilliant.
Okay? At which point, registration will take place. Okay?
Are we going to have...
We are, yeah, because we're going to have to hand out the badges, which
Brilliant.
Steve has seen a sample of this evening.
You have to wear the badges to get served at the free bar.
The free bar will open at 7 and will last until the money runs out. We are putting everything, bar what we paid for the badges, behind the bar. So you need to play. So basically, consider the £10 admission as your entry into the whip. And then we're just going to drink the money. And then once it runs out, then it'll be a normal pay bar and it will be fun. So, 7 o'clock. And then we're going to do some stuff, aren't we? We're going to do Secret Santa at 8 o'clock.
So what happens with the Secret Santa?
You need to bring along, you need to wrap up an unwanted video game gift. You need to wrap it up and say right on the outside what format it is, and we'll put it into a bag, and Keith Stewart will hand it out for you. That didn't quite work. But
So wrap up a game, bring it along, make it a good game because you'll get a good game back.
Or merchandise and stuff like that. It's a present you're giving, to part of the
exactly.
family.
Write on it what the format is.
Yeah, said that.
But I'm reiterating it.
Panto, what time do you want to do that? 9?
Yeah.
Panto.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it at 9.
Okay. And then karaoke 9:30 till close.
Yeah.
Half an hour give you enough time?
Yeah.
Brilliant new karaoke songs have come in.
Yeah, what
Some
we got?
Excellent. Did DNA yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah.
We transcribed
Oh,
DNA.
that's
Can't
good.
tell you what any of these are
No.
about,
Okay.
but this is where we rewrite songs to be about video games. Islands in the Stream
Okay.
today.
That's a good one.
Phenomenal.
Right.
What else came in
Total
today?
Eclipse of the Heart.
Total Eclipse of the Heart. That was good. So yeah, lots more new songs. Some of the old classics will be there as well.
Good news.
We're
Should
going to
be a
open with a
fun
new song. as well.
time. So if you don't have a ticket yet, you can still buy one from oll.eventbrite.com. They've gone up by £1 to teach you a lesson, or it'll be £12 on the door. Should we do that? Jamie, you're coming, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
We look forward to seeing you
plan.
there. Did you buy a ticket?
Not yet. I've been very busy.
You have been very busy. We've learned nothing from you during the hour that we
Very
spent in
busy.
your company. So we're lucky to have you here.
But you do have a month off now,
Ish, yeah.
and you're going to draw us in that month, aren't you?
Maybe.
Yeah.
What better way to spend a month?
And it will take a month.
Are you going to sell posters of us?
Maybe. Is it demand? I don't know.
There's
is a
so
demand.
much demand.
Yeah.
We'll sell them at next year's Christmas party.
Yeah. Good stuff. So, yeah, Christmas party this Saturday. We'll see you there. So if you don't have a ticket, you can still pay on the door. If you arrive after the bar's shut, then
You don't have to
you don't
pay.
have to pay.
Or you have to pay £13. That goes in our
we're
pocket.
not sure yet.
So there we go.
Jamie, thank you so much for coming in. Where can we follow you on the internet?
Probably on Twitter.
What?
McKelvie.
McKelvie.
Yeah, my surname. And on Tumblr. And that's pretty much it right now.
I have thought over the last fortnight, though, that there's no point just following you. You should also follow Anne as well, because she does like interacting with you.
Yeah. She bullies me, is what you're trying to say.
That's what I'm saying.
Constantly.
Isn't it fun though? Don't we all have a
you.
lovely time?
Enjoy your month off. We'll see you on Saturday. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah, listeners, thanks for listening.
And we will see you,
See you
on
Saturday.
Saturday. Bye.
Bye.